All right, how's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Mr. Donnie here again, looking at chapter 5.6 problems, Hess's law. So let's take a look at that. All right, which of the following statements is Hess's law? This is just kind of a definition one that you got to know. If a reaction is carried out in a series of steps, delta H for the reaction will equal the sum of the enthalpy changes for the individual steps. Basically, if picture at the bottom of a stairwell and you go up, you go down, you go up, you go down. If you add up all the steps that you took to go up and all the steps that you made going down, it should tell you exactly where you are, regardless of if you went up 10 and then down 5, or if you went up 5 and then just stopped. Doesn't matter. Add up the steps, you get the middle. You get what happened overall. All right, so here we're trying to figure out delta H for the reaction, and they give us steps. These two steps we can use to figure out how to get this overall reaction up here. All right, so we got to look at the steps and figure out what we got to do. Remember, if you flip a reaction, you change the sign for the delta H. So I'm looking at it, and if I want to get this overall, I want to get this as my reaction, I got to flip the second reaction, right? If I want IF5 as a reactant, well, I got to flip this reaction and get it to be a reactant. So I get IF5 goes to IF plus 2F2, and that would give me a positive 745 kilojoules. Since I flipped it, I have to change the sign. So now I, don't have to do anything to the first reaction. I can just leave it as is, because watch what will happen. Let's rest with IF3. So one of these F2s cancels out one of these F2s, so I'm left with just one. The IF and the IF cancel out because they're on opposite sides of the equation, and I'm left with which is what I wanted. So since I didn't have to do anything to that first reaction, I just take that delta H, add them up together, and I should get choice A. That's it. All right, number 26. Given the following reactions, the enthalpy of the reaction of nitrogen to produce nitric oxide is blank. So it's another one that we're going to have to look at. Well, if I want to end up with N2 as a reactant, well, then I want to use a reaction that'll give me N2 as a reactant. Cool. Doesn't look like I have to do anything in that first reaction. I want to end up with NO as a product. All right, so I'm looking for NO in here. I found it. It's a reactant in that equation. So I'm going to have to flip that equation. So let's see what happens when I do that. I get 2 NO2 plus, no, arrow. Erase, there we go. 2NO plus O2. And now it looks like I can leave the first reaction how it is. N2 plus 2O2 gives me 2NO2. So now we got to cancel out what's on both sides of the equation. I got 2NO2 on the right, 2NO2 on the left. I got 2O2 over here and 1O2 over there, so I can get rid of one of those. And hopefully I'm left with the reaction that I was trying to get. N2 plus O2 gives me 2NO. All right, so for this reaction here, if I had to flip it, that means I got to flip the sign. So I got 140 or 114.2 positive kJ. And I didn't do anything to that first equation, so I'll leave it as such. I add them up together, and I get choice A. That's how you do that. Take a look at number 27. Given the following reactions, the enthalpy of the reaction in which sulfur dioxide is oxidized to sulfur trioxide, given right here, is what? All right, again, if I want SO2 as a reactant, let me find it in the two reactions that they give me. Found it here. Well, if I want SO2 to be a reactant, I'm going to have to flip this. And if I want 2 SO2, I'm going to have to double it as well. So I'm going to have to flip it and double it. So let's do that. I get 2 SO2 arrow 2s plus 2O2. And now since I flipped, I got to change the sign. And since I doubled it, I got to times it by 2, which, man, I wish I did that math already. So it'll be a positive 2 times 297. All right, and now it looks like I don't have to do anything to that first reaction. I got 2s plus 3O2 gives me 2SO3. So let's cancel out things that are in common. I got 2 s's and 2 s's on both sides of the arrow, so they cancel each other out. We got 3O2 and 2O2, so I'll be left with 1O2 in reactant. Just erase, there we go. And I got 2SO3, nothing to cancel out, 2SO2, nothing to cancel out. So I should hopefully get the overall reaction. So I get 2SO2 plus O2 gives me 2SO3, which matches what I was trying to get. So now I just combine those numbers. I got 2 times 297 and negative 790. And that should give me choice B. And I really hope the audio's coming up all right. Am I still hanging out? Check, check. Cool. All right, number 28. Given the following reactions, blah, 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 the enthalpy of a reaction for this is blank. So it's the same thing, but different, right? So I'm going to look, well, I want 4NO as my reactant. So I'm going to look for NO in my equations. And there's a couple of places there that I can get that. So I'm going to maybe hold off on that. I'm going to look at, I want NO2 as a product. So I'm going to look for NO2. I found it here. All right, looks like I'm going to use that equation just how it is because it's the only place where NO2 is, and it's a product just like I want it. N2, all right, only place I find N2 is in that first equation. So I'm going to have to flip. I'm going to have to flip this one. So let me just rewrite it out, flipped. I got 2NO, arrow, N2 plus O2. All right, and I wanted to keep that second equation as is because it gives me the NO2. All right, so let's see what happens here. Well, I got O2 canceling out with O2. I got a total of 4NO, which is what I wanted. I got my N2, and I got my 2NO2. So it looks like all I had to do was flip that first one. So that means I got to change its sign. So I should get 180, negative 180.7. And the second equation, oh wait, I messed up, didn't I? Forget what I said. I'm having a brain fart, guys. Which one did I flip? I flipped the first one. So yeah, all right. And then the second one, I just take as is, which is negative 113.1. And when I add those together, I get the answer, choice C. All right, so hope you found that helpful. Hope with a little practice, you guys are experts. Tune in next time.